Denis Villeneuve's success seems unstoppable. In the last decade, he had a Midas touch, because almost anything he worked on had a huge critical and economic success. He demonstrated to be a great artist that managed to realize great movies while testing himself with different genres, productions, and budgets. His career is having a very interesting evolution. He started with independent art movies, and then he moved on with bigger and bigger films, sci-fi blockbusters in particular, whose creation requires a huge amount of experience and craft.
There was a fair amount of VFX in Sicario, but more than on Prisoners and less than Arrival. And it's like it's just like steps, and it's just like I feel I'm doing something when I feel that I'm ready to do it.
But because the difficulty of his projects progressed in a linear way, he was able to keep a personal style even in his latest movies. However, in this video we will try not only to describe which are some of the features of Villeneuve's way of filmmaking, but also which are the themes that he tries to discuss with his works. Homo sapiens sapiens is a unique species among all the others belonging to the animal kingdom. Human beings manage to conquer and live in almost any place on Earth, while the majority of animals need a specific habitat to grow and prosper. This ability is not restricted to the natural environment, but also allows us to adapt to all the different situations we experience during our lifetime, always struggling to survive, to live one more day. But differently from other animals, we can also choose how to react to unexpected events or how we want to live. We have an ethics. We understand the difference between good or evil, but still we can freely opt for one way or the other. Most of our life is not lived based on instincts, but rather on contemplated decisions. And this is precisely what Denis Villeneuve likes to explore in his movies. Which are the decisions that humans have to take to live how they want to, how they like, how they desire. Denis Villeneuve has understood that to create a captivating story, it is essential to have fascinating and charismatic characters, because otherwise it will only feel banal and insignificant. In all of his movies, all the characters are interesting and well characterized by their backstory or simply by their look. So, the choice of the actors and their performances are fundamental in these films, demonstrating the mastery of the Canadian director in these fields. To make his works even more compelling, Villeneuve depicts characters that have to face tough situations, due to the environment in which they live or to what happens in their own minds.
Each character is dealing with a different kind of, let's say, a jail problem. I mean, they are trapped. Each character is trapped either in his ego, either with some fear, some anger, some problem belonging to the past. There's similarities, of course, because all humans are the same. Everybody has to deal with those issues.
In this way, he can display the whole personality and morality of a character, making it even more interesting for the spectator, so much that it is still intriguing to discuss their behavior and choices long after the end of the movie. Villeneuve does not focus simply on one possibility, but he also likes to show through different characters opposite perspectives and reactions to the same situations, in order to fully explore the countless human choices and behaviors. The Canadian director likes to display the characters struggling in circumstances that they can't fully understand, and he tries to convey this obscurity using dark and backlit shots. Also, this is why we are often shown the characters deep in thought, with slow back framings that try to guide us in their minds. Wide shots are another feature of Villeneuve's descriptive style, as he uses them to portray the setting in which the action takes place, or to display the full body reaction of a character to what is happening around him. At the same time, The slow pacing of the movies and the many shots with little to no movement let us spectators think on what we are observing and give us time to truly internalize it. But this slowness is also a way to remind us that we are not in control of what is happening on the screen, and that, most of the time, neither the characters are.
You imagined it was you. Oh, you did. You did. We all wish it was us.
The progression in Villeneuve's filmography is not limited to the size of his movie productions, but there is also growth in the scale of the events we are shown. If at first, in movies such as Polytechnique and Incendies, the director narrates stories that influence small groups of people, such as a family or a group of students, he then shows us what happens when events affect the life of a whole planet, as in Arrival, and we may see what happens throughout a galaxy in Dune. The progression does not stop here, but it spreads to the underlying meaning and questions raised by the films. At first, the plot wants to make us think about how it is possible to continue living and persist in choosing good even after traumatic events, such as facing an attack or a war or losing someone dear to us. Then, the subjects start to revolve more around moral questions, asking if evil actions can lead to something good, if loving is worth even if it brings pain with it, and even what is that makes us human, and how are humans led to choose any of these possibilities. In the future, we may also have Villeneuve's point of view about what means deciding to become what we are destined to be, even if it means killing and destroying entire planets. In the end, the Canadian director always gives ambiguous interpretations, and we end up wondering what we would have chosen in place of the characters. This is Villeneuve's strength. He is able to direct successful blockbusters that are truly enjoyable and entertaining. At the same time, if we immerse ourselves deeper in them, they are able to make us ponder and think for days on human condition and life, on how the events that we live can influence how we behave, but also on all the choices we can make. Because even though the harshness of the events we live can be overwhelming, we still have choices. We can choose to stay human, we can choose to follow a good way of living, or we completely change what we are and turn ourselves into evil demons. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and a comment below. We hope to see you soon on our next video. Ciao a tutti!